Welcome to the Good Buds Podcast, the show where good buds smoke good buds and talk about them. I'm Curtis.
I'm Shank.
What the fuck is a flag day?
That's Isaac.
And this is episode 94, airing Monday, February 27th, 2023, on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate all of you for being here. Today we're going to be talking about some survival shit. Curtis has something prepared for us, and other survival-related things that we're all interested in. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure that you click, buttons down below to make sure you get notifications. And
Yeah, but before you do that, we should coax them into doing it a little bit. They need a reason to do it. It's something that we're stalling too much. I got weed. It's in a bong. It's right here.
Yeah, I got a joint rolled right here, ready to go.
Don't tap it with a lighter. It would probably break. Isaac, you got anything prepared for yourself today?
Sorry.
I have never heard of this beverage before. This sounds like a brand new beverage that's going to sweep the absolute nation. What is it? What is the flavors of it?
Nope, it's just Sierra Mist.
What do you mean?
They rebranded.
So, buds, if you have your bongs packed, your bowls packed, your joints rolled, your blunts rolled, your vapes ready, your rigs ready, edibles, you can take them now, before, later. It does not matter. It is time to blaze it. Tok tok shkaboke.
Tok.
I like this better than Sprite.
Sierra Mist is superior to Sprite.
Personally, I think so. I was Sprite at first, like when I was younger. Changed. It's Sierra Mist now.
You mean Starry?
Starry.
Sierra Mist till
Speaking of things that are Starry, if you guys are interested, we have some social media links down below in the description that you can check out to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all those miscellaneous social places. You can click on those and see pictures and behind-the-scenes content.
Jube's looking at them right now. He's looking down at the content.
Jube loves that shit. But you can also jump on Discord where you can share your content with us, and we'd be happy to see it because, we'd like to know what you buds are up to, and it's a good place for you to find out what's going on with us before it goes anywhere else on the internet.
Absolutely.
So,
we use it for all types of stuff. We do it for stuff that's on the podcast, so you even get a hint of what's going to be on the podcast next. But some other ways you can find that out is you can head over to our Patreon page. We have multiple tiers that you can donate to there, starting as low as $1. You'll get exclusive behind-the-scene content, updates and notifications about what we're doing, a chance to be on the show live. Who knows? Hey, stuff happens. Be sure to check down below. It'd be fantastic if you checked it out and all that good shit.
You know what else is good shit?
What's good shit?
Isaac?
Our Twitch channels.
Damn right. Got some awesome content going there.
Yep.
True.
Twitch.tv/goodbuds, whatever our fucking names are.
Down below in the description, we got links for you.
Absolutely. Perfect.
We got you covered, buds.
Maybe.
So, like Shank was mentioning, the main topic of today is survival. Do we have the instinct? Do we have it in us?
No.
Probably not. That's why most of us sit behind computers. We don't work desk jobs, but we sit behind computers.
That's true.
But survival is definitely one
I
of those.
survive all the time in Minecraft.
Absolutely.
Surviving right now. I'm breathing.
I forgot to survive there for a second.
So yeah, go ahead, Curtis. All right.
But yeah, survival comes in, multiple different scenarios, our day-to-day lives of survival and shit like that. But we're talking more like Bear Grylls style, Man vs. Wild, fucking Alone in the Woods style survival shit. Now, this is something personally that I kind of enjoy. I wouldn't say I'm a survivalist or a naturist or any of that shit by any stretch of the mean, but randomly
Anybody
I do.
Who owns the same assault weapon that you have?
Oh, they
is
should.
Clearly a survivalist.
Absolutely. Or just a doomsday prepper, or just but fucking sane. But where's the line? Am I right?
Or all three. Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the line?
It's thin, it's white, and they snorted it last night. While buying
That's
more
what they were doing in the bathroom for 3.5 hours.
While buying MREs online in bulk.
Yeah, they're in the bathroom doing stuff that is not Pepsi.
Not Pepsi. So anyway,
Sierra Mist.
Is Pepsi okay? Flips table.
it's not Sierra Mist, it's Starry. So anyway, survival is fun because I don't know. I grew up, I was in Boy Scouts, so I had that kind of survivalist thing going on where it's like, oh, we go camping once a month. Again, we all hang out. I was part of one of those cool tropes where I didn't get touched or anything, so it was pretty
Hey,
sweet.
nice, nice.
Ah,
Exactly.
so you must have had Big Gay Al.
Life is good.
Yeah. Nah, everybody was pretty cool and everything was on the up and up. But no, really good
Everything was
experience
fine.
and shit
You
like
didn't
that.
have your counselor wasn't a Catholic priest.
That helps.
It really does.
Man, we are really making shots at the church in these last couple episodes, and I would formally like to not apologize. You've had thousands of years to come up with comebacks, and you've got nothing. So,
Oh,
just-
they've come down many backs.
oh shit!
Particularly prepubescent and male.
Patreon.
Rumble.
All right.
Oh my god, no, yeah.
So, anyway.
Scouts. You were scouts, and you didn't get fondled.
I was in Scouts, didn't get fondled, learned a bunch of stuff. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool. On top of that, my parents were really into watching Survivor when I was younger, so I would always sit around and watch it with them. And randomly, I would just have those fantasies of like, or by fantasies, I mean daydream in school of like, all right, I don't want to be here. I'd much rather be on a deserted island. How would I survive on that island? And then I would wake up, and then it would be the end of class. So
Nice.
this is
Nice.
So I
this
didn't
is
watch
something I think
Survivor.
about a lot.
Nice.
You didn't watch
Is it-
Well,
Survivor?
I mean, that's the thing. It's like.
a-
Oh, go
As
ahead,
a,
Isaac.
as a horny teen, I watched Naked and Afraid.
Respectable.
Now he can't get off without fucking like skydiving.
I can't get off unless she's getting bitten by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she has no chance of contracting Lyme disease, I'm not interested.
Not into it at all. Not into it. Oh my god.
She's a week dehydrated.
She's only eaten pine nuts for 3 weeks.
Just waiting for my woman to realize when I let go of the mosquitoes during the bedtime.
Yeah. You have a mosquito net up around your bed, but it's not to keep them out.
Babe, quit screaming. Go wipe your ass with a banana leaf.
Oh my god. Poison ivy, man. Poison ivy. Get that extra naked and afraid shit in there.
Oh no.
The only leaves we have around here are poison ivy, so I'm just gonna have to suck it up.
You know what?
Suck it up, beat
As I got older, I kind of felt bad for the editors. They had to see a lot of dong.
Oh, a lot.
Oh,
of
so
dong.
much dong. It was literally 90% dong.
A lot of dong.
A lot of
No.
dong.
Okay, now here's the thing for me. While we're talking survival shows.
Yeah.
So first off, camera shows or shows where you had to pull the camera. So shows where you had to pull the camera are like Survivor Man, where he had to bring all his own equipment and everything with him, and he tracked everything himself. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Bear Grylls had a whole camera crew that followed him while he did the survival stuff himself.
So basically, like,
Which do you
Well,
prefer?
To be fair, from an entertainment standpoint, I prefer the Bear Grylls one because I know it's fictionalized. Like, I know that the situations in that show, like, and first of all, that makes the memes even funnier. People got mad because they were like, he didn't have to drink his own piss. It was bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. But that makes it funnier.
Yeah.
But,
He
like,
hi,
but
hi,
like,
I'm
but the,
Ted
like,
Bear, and I'm gonna eat my own.
yeah, I know, shit. But like, and that's what I mean, right? So like, from an entertainment standpoint, I like the Bear Grylls ones because it has a better production value.
And he
and, like-
definitely, since he had the crew behind him and he
Yeah,
knew he
and
could
he can
do
set things
riskier,
up.
since he
Yeah.
could do riskier stuff, he had a chance to do riskier stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
there's a
and
cavern
the
down there.
techniques
If
that
I
he
was out here
shows,
by
like-
myself, I wouldn't go near it. But since I
Yeah.
have 5 people who can immediately call 911, I'm gonna jump in there. Let me know if
and
shit
the-
goes wrong.
Exactly. And the techniques that he shows can legitimately help save lives because even though it's in a fictionalized setting, he does show ways that you can utilize things that you've got to like save your life if you're in a shitty situation. But the other one is still really, really good from an informative perspective because he has to show he shows all the nitty gritty, and it's not just what the producers think would be a good shot sometimes. Like it's what like he basically sets it up only what you need to see. So
And
it's
mind
cool
you,
from
when
an
I'm saying this,
educational standpoint.
I'm just speaking in terms of the 2 different types of shows, not specifically Survive Man or Bear Grylls
But
specifically, but
I like the
in
show
terms
alone.
of styles. Yeah.
The show alone is dope. It's like where the people on the show they're out in the wilderness for like as long as they possibly can, and nobody knows when the other contestants quit,
Right.
and they're all trying to be the last one out there. So they stay out there for like 90 days to 100 days sometimes, just by themselves, and they have to
heard
film
of this
themselves.
show.
It's called Alone, and like they literally like it's a contest where 10 people go out in the woods in random places alone, and they stay out there as long as they can, and they have no contact with the outside world at all unless they want to quit. And they're not told when they quit, whether they're the last one to quit or other people have quit before them or whatever.
They have to
and
wait until the last
yeah,
person quits
so
to
until
know.
the last person out there by themselves says, "Hey, yeah, I'm gonna quit now," and they come back, the contest is still going. And so basically, that person, when they're the last one, they find out they won at that point. But they don't get, but no one ever gets to know when other people quit. And like they film themselves, and the producers of the show are like, "You, the only rule is you have to film yourself like throughout the day,
Right.
and you have to talk to yourself or talk to the camera, because there needs to be like audible like words. Like it's a dialogue show. It's not just a silent.
Yeah, we can't
like,
just hear
mystery
nature sounds and shit like that.
It's not like primitive technology shit. Like they want like the audience watching wants to hear you guys talking, so you have to talk to yourselves. And these people go fucking bonkers. Like day one, they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go down to the river and I'm gonna get some fish. I'm gonna use this bow that I brought with me, the one thing I was allowed to bring, and I'm gonna get some fish and blah blah blah. And this is my game plan, and I'm gonna blah blah." And then like
And
3
day
episodes
30.
later, yeah, 3 episodes later, it's like 2 weeks later, and they're like, "I've been eating squid testicles for the last 4 days, and I think that I finally have a chance to catch this pygmy land stoat. I've set up 70,000 snares, and I finally finished building my shelter." And then it's like a 4-story tall fucking like cabin and built in the woods with leaves and
Like
twigs.
us 3 days into Minecraft.
And it's like us, yeah, 3 days into Minecraft, and it's just like this fucking 3-story tall fucking chateau built of twigs and leaves and tar and mud.
See,
And
now
like-
that would
Here's
be
my-
intense.
Here's
And
my
it's intense,
sleeping
dude.
room. Here's my chest
Like,
room.
and they
here's
do
my
legitimately set up
enchantment room.
houses. They,
Here's
like,
my
that's the
chicken
cool thing.
farm.
I'm so used to on survival shows. The reason I love this show is because on survival shows, I'm so used to shows where they build like a lean-to that's like just enough leaves to protect them for like 3 or 4 days, and then they move on or whatever, right? Like, but like these, they expect to be there for potentially 100 days or more, right? Like,
Sounds
you
like
know,
a Mr. Beast video.
Potentially
so,
be out
yeah.
there for a year.
they expect to be out there for as long as they need to be out there. So like they basically, when they're getting themselves set up, they're not getting themselves set up for like a week or a day or a couple days or anything like that for the competition. They're getting themselves like potentially for like multiple seasons worth of survival in this region. And
Yeah,
so it's
the
like crazy.
lean-to will be fine for the first couple days, but you're
Exactly.
using that while you're building
while
your
you're
chateau.
building the other actual shelter, right? And so like they end up with like houses that have like one dude made like his own plumbing system using a like weird irrigation system that he like dug out of the ground and shit to have water flowing.
That
so he
shit's
could, like,
crazy.
So he could like poop and his poop would just like float away. Like it just like
Load away, little poo.
but the cool thing is it would go into like a compost area where he'd fucking throw like food scraps and shells and bones and shit like that and everything else and that
And
kind
he's
of
got
thing.
dirt.
But it was like away from his camp, and it was like dope, man. This dude had it like maximum set up. Like, but it's crazy. Some people quit. Like one dude, my favorite moment from the show. This dude's like gung ho survivalist, right? And on day 4, he killed a squirrel. Like he basically was hunting,
Yeah.
and he killed a squirrel. And when he killed this squirrel, for some reason, it broke him. The dude was like, the squirrel's talking to me and it's telling me I have to quit. Like this is, he's like, and he's like breaking down crying and shit. And like, he's like, this squirrel. And then like a scene later, like this woman on the show killed a squirrel. And when she killed it, it was like, it was like screaming basically. Well, no, what happened was she killed one in
Okay.
a snare and another squirrel came over and started screaming. And she was like, "Sorry, no problem. Like, I apologize," and just like took the dead squirrel and was like, "Sorry about that." And this other squirrel was just like,
You killed my wife!
and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, but straight up screaming. And it was like, but then it cut back to
Excuse
this
me?
other dude, and she's like, "Sorry about that. Excuse me. I'm
And
gonna
he's
go."
absolutely
Yeah,
screaming.
and like goes back to the other human dude, and he's just like, "I need to quit. I need to quit." And he called and immediately quit the fucking competition. Like he quit the fucking show, and I was
That's
like
fucking
sitting there
hilarious.
watching it, like, what?
That's hilarious.
But Alone, that show was fantastic.
Okay.
Great Survivor show, and that's my favorite. So
Check some of
I
that
guess
out.
Remember, guys, Survivor is nothing like these shows.
Oh yeah,
Willow-
Survivor is
Willow-
completely
no.
different.
Wheel
No,
of Fortune's
Survivor's a game
happening right
show.
behind those trees.
Yeah.
yeah, Survivor is a
Literally.
game show. Survivor it's a game show.
Wheel of Fortune is
Go
right over there.
underwater. Literally, the ocean is just a glass ceiling, and right underneath is where we're filming Family
Well,
Feud.
there is like a resort, like less than a 2-minute boat ride away.
Welcome to
From that.
Survival, or Welcome to Survivor, hosted and taking place on a sandals resort.
Yeah. Welcome to Survivor Sandals.
Welcome to Survivor, Cleveland.
Oh dear God. Day one at the voting. They're all at the voting circle. All right, so 4 contestants have quit the show and 1 contestant got shot. We're gonna go ahead and say that nobody's gonna get voted out tonight. But if y'all could just kind of stay away from that side of town.
Two got shot. Fuck.
All right, so now
We're gonna have to
we're all
postpone.
gonna have to wear those bulletproof vests that we've provided for you. So go ahead and just put those on.
What's that? I can't hear you over the gas mask.
What's that? Oh,
Sorry,
oh,
Isaac.
Post-apocalyptic.
sorry, I didn't hear you over the paint and something company that blew up.
Well, there's a reason why he's drinking Stargates because he can't drink the tap water right now.
Isaac, do you want to come live with me for a day or two?
What's your Flint, Michigan water?
I'm farther south of it. It's gotten time to filter out before it flows to me.
That's true. It's all been drank by people the government cares less about.
And besides, it gets through us and then it goes to Detroit. That's where it really becomes shit.
Yeah, it's true. It kind of gets more polluted once it hits Detroit.
So anyway, survival. So
Survival,
survivors.
yeah.
Okay. So now, you know what? Yeah, no, we'll just keep going forward. So Survivor includes surviving games. Surviving
Yeah.
games includes things like Son of the Forest, a game that has just come out. Isaac, you were the only one who's played it so far. How is it?
I think it's better than the first one. A little different. Actually, pretty different. You get a mini map now, which is crazy. You get
Nice.
an actual map now, which is crazy, like even crazier. Yeah, it's
What'd you name your cyborg friend?
well, his name he already has a name permanently, and it's Calvin.
Yeah, but you can always
So
call
what
him
did
something
you
different.
name your
What did
robot
you
friend?
Name him.
Bitch.
Thank you.
Yep. There you
So-
So
go.
basically, my first few hours of playing, I was just exploring the map,
Yeah,
and
as you do.
as I'm just like, going through the woods, or the forest.
Oh.
Calvin is just slacking, and I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Come on. You
Yo,
can
Derek.
easily get a gun now in this
Just
game.
walking
and
around like,
basically,
I'm Calvin.
You can easily get a gun now in
Oh,
one
dope.
area. So I just walk in with an axe and I just pull my pistol out. I'm like, Calvin, I swear to fucking God.
I swear to God, Cal.
Guys, we're in a survival situation. I found this in the woods.
I found this in the
Forest.
woods.
No, there is a shotgun actually though. I don't know where it's at, but the pistol is like on
Time
a
to find
rack.
it. I'm gonna kill as
Pistol's on a
many
rack
cannibals
somewhere.
as I have to. I'll find that
Yeah.
shotgun.
I'll find that goddamn shotgun.
I haven't found it yet.
To be fair, even with guns in the game, we'll probably end up using a fucking axe still.
I'm
Yeah,
still just
the
gonna throw
axe.
spears.
The axe is
Spears,
stuck.
yep.
Yeah, I think you-
Because you can make him. You basically just get a bunch of fucking sticks, make them pointy.
It's just like it was my strategy in Far Cry 5 too. Gather as many baseball bats or canoe paddles as I could and just whip them.
Shovels.
Yep, I actually
There's
remember us
shovels.
Oh, and
doing
shovels
that.
too.
I remember the few times that we played Far Cry together. Like that was one of the things that you absolutely would always do is yeet the fuck out of the fucking. Like you'd grab whatever you could. Like you'd like. Yeah, I've got like 4 shovels and 2 baseball bats and a pipe. And then just like every combat scenario, and then he'd like run over, fucking grab it, and put it back. It's like it just reminds you of like it reminds me of something that Hawkeye would do, but it's like behind the scenes moments that Hawkeye does. Like he shoots all of his arrows into enemies, and then like right afterwards, it just shows him like.
I was just a combination of like Casey Jones and Hawkeye, basically.
Yeah.
Just whipping hockey sticks and shit.
Yeah, and then you have to huff around afterwards and collect them all. So you can
Well, that
throw
was
them
the
again.
strategy. You would throw 2 on your way over, then you would throw over 1 right as you would collect your first one to keep them back, and then
Yeah.
you would progress forward.
It's basically like juggling, but with sticks against people's faces.
Like a bicycle kick in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but better because it's sticks
Yeah.
against people's
Far
faces.
Far Cry 5 was so good.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I just wish the co-op was
Another
more than
kind of
two-player.
kind of a survival game, but not exactly. But anyway, so Son of the Forest came out. Obviously, a sequel to The Forest, which is a game that all of us played a little bit.
Yep.
I played a little bit solo, but not all too much. Played a little bit with you guys the first time I played it, and it was all right, but I wasn't having too much fun with it. And then we decided to start doing a couple. And then Isaac, why don't you get into how much more you got into it?
What?
The Forest, the first Forest.
Yeah, the first Forest.
Oh, I've beaten it numerous of times.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Trying to go
No.
for certain trophies on PlayStation that never popped. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
remember-
mean,
well, you and
go ahead.
your girlfriend fucking specifically like enjoyed playing it and wanted you to play a little bit more with her too, right?
she's the expert, not me.
Yeah. So you ended up liking it, decided, hey, I could probably get a couple more trophies for it, and tried a couple times. And Shank, why don't you talk about your guys' long session?
Yeah, well, I mean, there was Isaac was like, "Hey,
The day
you
it
guys
came
gotta."
out, around-
Yeah, he's like, the game came out, and he's like, "You guys gotta try this out." No, he's like, "You gotta try it." So me and my other half were like, "Fuck yeah, we'll try it out." And like, we've been wanting to play that game, so we'll get on with you. And he had already fucking done his research because Isaac, the thing about him with the games is he does his fucking research. Like this guy will watch videos and tutorials and read shit and everything else to find out what he needs to find out about games to like have that like knowledge. Like he fucking digs in. It's like my other half. He reads the tutorials, and so it's like basically one of those things where like he knew a lot about the forest already, and so we were like, well, we'll hop on, and he was like guiding us around and fucking like we were having a great time. Like we were building fucking zip lines over shit and like just having a good time fucking around. But we were like going from point A to point B, point C, like at a steady good pace. And we got like good gear and like we got ourselves all like, you know, armored up with miscellaneous shit. So like it was like, I don't know, 7 hours or like 6.5 hours in, and we were like at the lab section.
which is
And
the
Isaac's
ending.
like, yeah, and we were like, yeah, and like, and Isaac's like, hey man, this is like almost the end of the game. We could probably finish this right now. Like, you know, like why don't we fucking like go through this? So like 2.5 hours later, we finally fucking beat the end boss. Like fucking beat the game in a 9 hour gaming session, and honestly, it was like one of the most fun I've had in a survival game, like at all. Like, cause like I don't normally like love survival games. There's a few that I do. Like I'm a Valheim junkie. I'll get into that after, but because we're talking about the Forest, but the Forest is like fucking just dope, man. Like that game was like so cool. The survival elements were awesome. If you had your head on straight and you had the right equipment, then you could actually like reasonably do some interesting, interesting things, and you can get through it quick. Because that's the thing is that 9 hour session wasn't even the last time we beat the game. Like because we beat the game again after that.
Because
Like,
afterwards, I figured, oh, you guys are playing the game without me and such like that, and I would start playing it a little bit more solo, and I'm like, all right, I kind of want to
your
play it a little
presence
bit
was
more.
missed during that session, though. I'm sure it would have been way fucking more fun with like you on there kicking ass too.
Oh, yeah. But shit happens.
you're
So then
busy
we
in it.
got on where it was you, or sorry, it was me, Isaac, Shank, and Tessa got on with us.
Yep.
And we decided, because Isaac had a couple more trophies to do, that we were going to do a quick speed run of the game. 3 hours later, it was done.
Yep.
Definitely not up to the par of normal other speedrunners and such, but we got pretty much into the laboratory within 2 hours, I would say. Like it took us the first hour just to get like the basic stuff.
Well,
and go
grinding
through
that
the
end boss
caves.
took us like almost half an
What?
hour on its own because we weren't doing it right.
Well, like I
Yeah.
said, took an hour to go get the axes and the flashlights and all the special shit that we all needed. Got another hour pretty much getting down to the lab, getting out and getting down to the fucking boss fight. And then, yeah, about 30 minutes to another hour to finally get that boss done between all four of us. Because I think at some point one of us had to bail out. Like,
Yeah, it might have been me.
I don't know. I vaguely
don't
remember
know what
only
I said.
3 of us, but
Yeah.
anyway, we took on the end boss. This is the first time I had even seen the end boss of this game because I hadn't spoiled it for myself.
Yeah.
So
Which is fucking bonkers. If you buds haven't played it at home, like it's fucking bonkers.
So, small spoilers, but I walk in, we see a cutscene happen, and then afterwards, a giant blob mass of just moving around shit just whips at me, and my
Eldritch
health goes
horror.
and my health goes from full to absolute zero, and I'm on the floor down while this eldritch horror blob mass is just shooting and ricocheting around the room and spinning around and flailing and
Yeah,
such.
doing crazy ass shit.
And then I spawn in right outside of the boss fight, so I'm like, oh, okay. And then Isaac died, and then he spawns in right outside the boss fight, and then Shank
No, I
died,
was
and then
still
he
there because
spawned in.
I was still there. Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
I
I
think it
remember
was
that.
Tessa who had to leave for something, or she was just AFK or some reason. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So one by one, we all died, and then went back in, and then died, went back in, repeat, rinse, repeat. Eventually, it worked.
But yeah, then we cheesed it because we got it over the door and we could fucking like Molotov it and spear it through the door. And we were like, oh, we got this motherfucker. We can do this. Because
Oh,
we
yeah.
realized that we could hit it through the fucking door. And like all we
That's
had to do
right.
was like run in and grab shit, like and like run back out and like throw the shit and like run back out and grab the like we would shoot the arrows at it and then run back in and grab them and then run back out and fucking like we
After a
cheesed
while,
it.
we finally
We got-
cheesed it.
We got it. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
whether you cheese a boss or you beat it through like legitimate mechanics, it's still a fucking win.
Cheese is a mechanic.
Yeah,
He's
but
a mechanic.
I never got the trophy.
Yeah, but yeah, Isaac did not get the trophy that we were going for.
Even though I met
Which
the
one were you going
requirements.
for?
Vegan.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, you didn't want to eat meat.
Completing the game without eating any meat. Which I
Mhm.
did.
Yeah, it's
We
true.
ran
He
through so
didn't- he didn't
quickly.
eat
The only
meat.
thing we had time for was candy bars and berries.
Yeah.
Unless candy bars are made out of people.
Berries are meat.
Berries are meat. Berries are meat.
I got some meat berries right here.
I'm a little lad who loves berries and meat. So anyway,
meat.
so yeah,
And by
there's
meat,
some
I
other.
of course mean protein bars.
So obviously, Force is a relatively newer, or at least some of the Force is, newer topic, which is why we're talking about it now. But
Yeah.
there's obviously some other survival games that we've played along the lines. Minecraft being one of them, even though it's also a creative game, there's survival elements to it that all of us
yeah.
have loved.
The
and
mode is literally called survival mode. I mean,
of course, and
right there.
we've had some interesting worlds in terms of fucking survival.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Mainly the ones that
Yeah.
Isaac just fucking massively terraforms,
Yeah,
where he
no,
takes
it's
over like
insane.
2 villages.
Actually, honestly, I wouldn't mind. I've been kind of jonesing for Minecraft recently, so I may be willing to get back into that and start
Be
doing
down
some
for
shit
another
on
Minecraft.
survival.
I got
Oh.
Because now that the new update came out,
Well, I got. Oh wait, I would have to make a new world. Never mind.
yeah, now that the new update came out, like I'd be fucking 100% down to get on that shit and start like a survival world and actually like do shit legit.
Had a
Not
crazy
try to like
world
not try to like
planned.
speed run ending, like not like speed run killing the boss or any of that shit. Just going on and like making a place, you know,
For sure.
like we used to do.
Finding a legit place and making
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
making our
I'm down with
own,
that.
making our own thing, you know.
Well, I'm down with that.
Yeah,
But
it's been a while.
so yeah, we got Minecraft. Stranded Deep is a popular one. Ark
So-
is one that we played for a little
Oh.
bit.
I played a lot of that. Yeah.
I wasn't too much of a fan of it personally, but it was.
There were
it's still
certain
an
things
alright.
that made me stop. There were certain things that made me stop playing Ark that I won't get into because they're not.
It's
not
not
important.
not relevant. But yeah, Stranded Deep, Ark, 7 Days to Die. If you like zombie themed
Subnautica.
ones, Subnautica. So what are a couple of your guys' favorite fucking survival games?
I already mentioned mine, but I'll let Isaac go first. So
Of course,
Like this, yeah.
Minecraft, really.
Forest and Minecraft are yours.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, all the other ones I just couldn't get into really. I mean, I was into Stranded Deep when it first came out, but then later on the road, with all the updates and whatnot.
Makes sense.
good picks. Good picks. It's a good pick. I mean, honestly, Minecraft's like solid. It's one of those games that you can do a lot in and fucking
Yeah.
like yeah, it's just, yeah. Good picks. Good picks. Curtis, what do you think, man? What do you got? What are your favorite survival games?
I mean, personally, not being a huge survival game fan, like I try them out, but most of the time they usually peter off for me. But like Isaac said, the Forest and Minecraft are pretty much my usual go-tos, and with Minecraft being probably the number one.
Yeah.
I like the speed run it every once in a while, just try to see if I can beat the Ender Dragon in like an hour or so.
Yeah.
And
Which is doable.
And then- it is. And then just sitting around and doing normal survival set. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah,
Um,
no, actually, good picks, good picks.
and then
Solid.
Shank, the game you want to talk about?
Yes. Well, I'm gonna say Minecraft too. Like clearly, that's like I mean, because that's one of the sweet games. But mostly, like recently and for a while now, Valheim, man. It's like it really flew under my radar for a long time. It came out. It's got great developer support. They keep doing big updates that are they're free, like and they're massive. Like they like just increase the biomes in the world and the monsters and everything else. And like even though it has a bit of a crude aesthetic, you can get like HD texture packs for mods and shit like that are gorgeous. And it's got like the best kind of survival grind I've ever played. Like it's all about progressing from like one technology to another. Like essentially you once you kill the first boss, you get a bone antler pickaxe, like an antler pickaxe, and that lets you start getting stone and like metal, and then you progress and progress and progress. And it's all about building the next base. So basically you build little areas like towns or houses essentially to support whatever needs you have at that independent moment. But as you go to different biomes, you have to build a different headquarters or base at each biome that's like defended specifically for that biome. And it's really cool because you can, as you progress through the game, you see your bases getting better and better and better and better and better until you get to like your final, like main base.
Right.
And then it's like, and it's just awesome, man, because like the characters are cool. It's all set like with a Viking era. Like in the like it's got like a very like cool Viking aesthetic with for anybody that's into that kind of thing. I know I'm pretty into it. I think it's dope. Um, but like it's just one of those things where the monsters feel well balanced, the bosses feel well balanced, the gameplay loop is like enjoyable. Grinding doesn't feel annoying, which is one thing I don't love about survival games. That's one thing that kind of turns me off most of the time, is the grinding element because let's face it, I don't have a great attention span, buds. But but yeah, like but overall, like the grind doesn't feel too grindy. It actually feels really quite enjoyable. And the killing the enemies is very satisfying because when you kill them, they kind of explode into like a kind
Gory,
of
pulpy passion.
like it's kind of like, and then like their loot is left on the ground, and it's like dope,
Nice.
dope as
Oh
fuck.
yeah.
Yeah, and house building is great. You got to be like an architect, and it's fucking ballin'.
Nice,
Viking
nice.
Architect Simulator. But no, but check it out if you're interested in survival games where you can like sail around on ships and shit like that and fight sea serpents and fight like giants and monsters and all kinds of other miscellaneous shit. And it's dope as fuck. And it's my probably top. I'd say it edges out Minecraft now. So it's like it goes Valheim and then Minecraft for me. But I still love Minecraft. It's like Minecraft's top two.
Of course.
But yeah, like check it out if you're interested in those
The
kinds
blocks
of
rocks.
yeah, yeah, it's true. The blocks rocks. Like Minecraft will always have that spot in my heart for being dope as fuck.
Of course. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I don't want to go too much about Valheim because you buds can check it out if you're interested in it, but it's definitely worth checking out in my opinion.
exactly. Hey, you might even stream at some point on our Twitch channels.
It's true.
Good Bud Shank.
Links down
Oh.
below.
While you're there, also Good Buds Curtis, Good Buds Isaac.
I do.
So anyway, so talked about survival games, survival shows,
Yes.
somewhat. I mean, do you guys have any like survival stories? You guys ever survived?
I mean,
No, I've never survived ever.
not in like a wilderness scenario, but like I survived 2 house fires.
I'm in Ohio.
That
But
works.
not like survive, but I mean, like I'll talk about the more exciting one because the other one was mostly just an electrical outlet getting kind of crazy. But one of them, I was home alone. It was back when I was like a youngin. It was actually my pre-token days, so it was a long time ago. I was hanging out at my home, like my mother's home where I was hanging out and living, and fucking by myself waiting for my mom to come home from work because I had gotten home from school and I was chilling out waiting for like the little bit before she got home from work. And I was like playing my guitar on the couch when I heard some muffled yelling, like really loud yelling but muffled. And I was like, "Who the fuck's yelling?" Like I remember thinking, "Who's yelling right now?" So I went out to the fucking, front of the house and I heard the yelling again. So I like opened my front door to like look at the street and see who the fuck was yelling on my street because it was like the afternoon, nice day. Like it sounded like not happy yelling. So I was like, all right, open the door, and I immediately saw a wall of fire in front of me. Like it was just like flames that were taller than me. I was like, oh, shit, that's not fucking normal. Um, so I saw the dude over in my driveway yelling at the house to say, is anybody inside or whatever, like, like that kind of thing. And I was like, oh shit, like the front of our house is on fire. That's not good. Like, and so I was like standing there for a second. He's like, and the guy asked, "Do you have a fire extinguisher?" And I remember there was one in the kitchen. It was like one of those little baby kitchen fire extinguishers, for like putting it like it was
Yeah.
like a class C or whatever for putting a grease fires or like whatever in the kitchen. But like this is a whole porch on fire. But either way, I went out and I opened the door again and I sprayed some of the fire on my side, thinking I could like run through. And then I was like, that's not gonna work. So I threw the fire extinguisher through the fire over to the dude in the driveway so he could start spraying that side of the deck because it was more on fire. And I went over and ran out the back door instead because that was much better and less stupid than my first idea of running across the flaming front porch, right? And so I ran out the back porch and fucking basically so my neighbor called the fire department. They showed up, and by then, like my other neighbor had been spraying it with water from their hose and shit, and it was mostly out. And the whole like porch was burnt to like char, and fucking like the siding on the side of the house was like melted to fuck. It had like burnt like into the layer of like board behind that. You know what I mean? Behind the siding and
Yeah.
shit like that. And fucking like so it had almost gotten through into the house, but thankfully it didn't. But yeah, they found out that essentially it was because someone had thrown a lit cigarette butt, into one of the garbage cans on the porch, and fucking it just caught everything in the garbage can on fire, which caught the rest of the deck on fire. And fucking essentially it was like I know that there were always like teens who like would walk through our yard to take a shortcut through, and guaranteed one of them fucking like flicked their butt in there, fucking threw their butt in there or whatever while they were walking through and didn't even fucking think about it. And it like like yeah, it caught the fucking deck on fire, and after that, yeah. And the worst thing about it is I don't like that's the thing is I was like not super shook at the time. I was like at the time I was kind of like, whoa, that's like fucked up, but like I'm safe, everything is fine. There's like a layer of ashy dust all over everything in the house that we have to clean up, but whatever. Like I wasn't that shook up by it, but every time to this day that I smell like electrical burning smell, like that like ozony like wire, like burnt wire smell, like say if a fuse blows or something, every time I smell that smell, I'm like, fuck. Like I go into like a fucking like, oh shit, like everything is fucked right now, like kind of panic mode. It's crazy, craziness. But yeah, like yeah, that was fun. Like yeah, it's fucking wild, man.
Makes sense.
But I didn't have to like survive for like days in the cold or like underneath
Yeah.
a tree for like 6.5
mean,
days or
I
drink
survived a
rainwater out
really
of a
shitty high
rainwater
school.
out of a skunk skull.
I mean, I survived a really shitty high school without conflict.
Dope, dope.
I
That's
mean, like,
survival too.
this school is
Works.
so bad. Like, I think my 9th grade year, this is when GTA Online came out. A kid sadly was killed over GTA Online because I guess his buddy he was playing with at the time got pissed at him, came to his house. I forget
I
how
was
many
about to
times
say, couldn't he respawn? He just got killed in GTA. So what? He loses a couple
No,
bucks.
he got killed
Respawns.
in real life.
That's a different story.
Yeah, that's a different story.
His buddy got pissed, came over and stabbed him a shit ton of times to death, and then dumped him in a trash can and threw him out on the curb.
It's fucked up, dude.
Pretty fucked up.
I mean, I survived that school, so
Well, there you
I
go, dude. GG. See,
Survival.
that is survival. That is survival. But
Alright.
but Curtis was talking more about we haven't been in any actual survival situations.
Well, I think today sounds like a perfect time to put you buds into a wilderness survival
Let's-
situation.
technically,
Boom, boom.
technically, I lived 2 years without gas and water.
All right, but not in the woods though, right?
No, I was in a house.
All right, so Curtis has a different.
Okay, so
scenario.
anyway,
so
so
Curtis has a different scenario.
we
than
don't need
that.
to talk about your depressing upbringing, Isaac. Goddamn.
Insert the sad music here.
It was copyright. I'm sorry.
We move on.
Yes, of course. So we're gonna put you buds through a survival situation. I kind of have one semi mocked up here.
Okay.
So
Based
The
on his deep, intense scout knowledge.
Scouting, research, and knowledge is what has gone through.
And his
into
4
this.
years secretly as a Navy SEAL that he never tells anybody about.
Shut the fuck up, Shank. I'm gonna have to kill everyone.
Sorry.
So what we're going through
Subscribe
is
and you won't do
survival
it.
situation. Shut the fuck. So survival situation. We have you buds are gonna be hiking through Yellowstone National Park here in America,
Okay.
in
right.
Wyoming,
First things first, Isaac.
and parts of Idaho and Montana.
All right, first things first, Isaac. If any bears approach you asking you for a picnic basket, just fucking give it to them. We don't want any trouble, okay? Just give him the basket.
Well, first
If he
things
has a small bear with him,
Yeah, think about it. This is
Like,
what year?
you
We're
can
in
shoot the small
2023.
bear, but
We're not gonna run into that bear. We're gonna run into a bear on fucking coke.
oh,
that movie hasn't come out yet. Or did it come out? No, wait, it comes out. Oh, it
the
came out
book
today.
came out
The day
and the
came.
true story came
today.
out.
The movie came out today.
The day we're recording, yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'm going to see that for my birthday. Either that or Ant-Man. But anyway, if I survive till then I'm tisk.
All right, cool. So hiking in
Hiking in Yellowstone.
National Park. Oh,
Yes.
Yellowstone National Park. All right.
Fuck. So Yellowstone National Park. You guys are going to be hiking.
Okay.
So specifically, I'm sending you the thing over Discord now. Let's see.
All right.
Bam. It's in the admins
Opening my
only
Discord.
thing for you buds.
I have
But
an admins only. Oh shit.
you buds probably can't see that shit. So for you, bam, there's the list there. All right. So the picture I have sent you is basically a spreadsheet. So you guys are gonna have to first pick off your starting equipment. So you guys can pick from either bag number 1, bag number 2, or bag number 3. For the audio listeners at home, bag 1 contains 4 pounds of food, 2 gallons of water, 2 Pepsis, and these are just like 16-ounce bottles of Pepsi.
Yeah.
So 2 Pepsi, 1 hoodie, 1 jacket, 1 pair of socks, a flashlight, a 10 feet of cheap rope, a 7-inch hunting knife, a first aid kit, 10 joints of some dank-ass cannabis, a
Dope.
sketchbook and some pencils, and a Bluetooth speaker, totaling about 20 pounds of weight. Bag number 2 contains 2 pounds of food, 2 liters of water, 1 Pepsi, cooking gear, 2 jackets, 1 heavy coat, 2 pairs of socks, a pair of underwear, towel, 10 feet of paracord, heavy duty, a lantern, a flashlight, an axe, a pocket knife, a tarp, a compass, 10 joints of high-grade cannabis, half ounce of high-grade cannabis, papers and a roller, a vape pen, or a portable battery.
Yep.
Or bag number 3, which contains Cliff Bars and trail mix, 1
Oh.
water bottle, and bag number 2 totals up to 50 pounds. Bag number 3 is Cliff Bars and trail mix, 1 water bottle, 4 bottles of Pepsi, 1 hoodie, an Amazon survival knife that they got for like $45, 15 joints
Works
of
good
high-grade
enough.
cannabis, a vape pen, a portable battery, a Nintendo Switch, and a Bluetooth speaker. All this totals in 10 pounds. You guys get to pick between one of those 3.
Okay, question.
Yes.
What kind of backpacks are these? What kind of bags are these? Are they professional hiking backpacks? Because
Number
if it's
2,
like a professional hiking backpack, that's like actually like good straps, chest strap, like good waist strap, like set up to be a proper
not-
hiking backpack.
it's not like the huge hiking backpack, like the one with all the
Yeah,
straps and
but
everything.
like a survival backpack, right? Like that.
Number 2 is a survival style backpack. Numbers 1 and 3 are like basic backpacks that are meant more for school but can work for hiking. But
All right,
number
a
2 is like
different- yeah.
a meant for hiking backpack, but it's not
And I
straps
see
or
here
anything
that
crazy.
I see here that there's a random backpack.
Don't worry about that one just yet.
All right. So I'm gonna go with number 2. If it's a proper hiking backpack, I could easily carry 50 pounds.
So you're
and
gonna
set
carry
it down. Set it down whenever I need to, but I could like rest whenever I need
Okay.
to. But I could definitely carry 50 pounds in a proper backpack. I've done
So-
it before.
in a proper backpack. Shank's going with the 50 pounds of extra weight and being over prepared. Mind you, your guys' hike is only gonna last like 6 hours. You're only going for the day.
Oh yeah, that's not on my man. I got enough weed for the day. So
Okay.
and food.
Dig it. Isaac, which one would you be taking?
So you said this is for one day.
This is for one day. The hike is going to be about 6 hours. So you guys are expecting to go up the trail, and
Yeah, I'm going to
at
the
like
woods,
the
man. I'm
full,
gonna be prepared for it.
and at about the 3 hour mark, you guys plan to stop, eat, and then fucking hike back for the next 3 hours.
I'm just disappointed that you didn't have like sword on there or something because if a cougar attack, you always got to be prepared for cougars.
Amazon survival knife, bro.
Oh, that's true. You can fight it with an Amazon. Oh, and I have an axe anyway, and a pocket knife,
Yeah.
and a tarp. I could fight them with a tarp.
We got exactly. You think of your potential.
Going for one.
You're going for one. So you're going for like the minimal, but you still
Good
got
amount of
enough
food.
prepared.
Yeah,
Dig
good
it,
amount of
dig it.
food.
And Isaac, for your 10 joints, since you don't smoke, I'll let you choose something else that's on either backpack 2 or 3 to take with you instead of the joints.
Fuck it, I'll keep the joints.
You're gonna
Okay.
keep the doinks?
I'll come back and with them and
Then we
Give
can
'em-
all share them together.
give them away.
All right. So Isaac's
I
bringing
assume
10 extra joints that he
I
doesn't
assume
need.
Curtis will be stalking us in the woods, watching the experiment. So then it's so.
Oh
he
yeah,
should-
I'm full
I'm
cabin
bringing-
in the woods. I'm underground.
You can just
I'm
just
bringing
throw
them-
one of your joints out every now and then, like just light a joint and then toss it, and it'll just disappear down a hole in the ground, and
Well,
Curtis will get it. And...
I'm gonna bring them because I'm meeting my guy out there.
Well,
It's true.
for the sake of the story, I've decided to not be a part of this, so I'm nowhere here. I had COVID, so I couldn't go with you guys to Yellowstone.
Sad, man. We'll do it for Curtis.
Damn right. You guys are doing it for me. I told you guys to put a finger in Old Faithful for me. And then one in Isaac's butt.
He's gonna
One
be
in-
so stoked when I fucking do the old minivan.
One in the sink, 2 in the stink.
Well, hey man, the minivan is the best way to go.
Alright.
It's 2 in the front, 5 in the back. Bam.
Absolutely. All right. So the buds don't get confused. I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel off all bag 3 since nobody's using it. Bam.
Nah, 'cause bag 3 can get out of here. Get out of here,
Alright.
bag 3.
So what you guys have is your backpacks. Let's say you guys start off at Old Faithful. You finger it for me, and from Old Faithful, you decide to take one of the hiking trails. There's one that leads north, and there's one that goes south. Which one would you boys like to take?
I would like to know what the sky conditions look like.
Sky conditions as of right now are clear, like almost completely clear, almost no clouds in the sky, except for a couple of very misty ones, and a couple
Aye.
very misty whites clouds up
I
there.
mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter because I don't know the actual geography of the area, but I'm assuming. Are there any signs around saying "Don't step here" like that I can see?
There's signage leading,
'Cause-
outwards and out of shit like that. But then there's also signage that leads to a hiking trail going north and a hiking trail that goes south. So would you like
Dang.
to go north or south because you guys are there to hike?
Oh shit! I didn't know which. Isaac, did you have a trail pick for today, or did we discuss previously which trail we were gonna take? Because if not, then we might as well just go north because there's no fucking.
Might as
I mean-
well.
You guys are going north.
Yeah, we'll go north.
All
'Cause
right.
it's like I don't know. Did we like make any plans, or was this a spontaneous hike? Like
You
was
guys
this
plan
just,
to
like,
make it
we were
out.
driving by, and we're like, yeah, when we get there, we'll just find a random ass trail and walk down it.
There's 1,000 miles of trail and plenty of things. So
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I just told you guys I wanted you guys to go see Old Faithful, and you guys wanted to hike. So you guys decided to hike from Old
Yeah,
Faithful.
we found Old Faithful, and we were like, all right, dope. We figured that. Now
Exactly.
time to go.
So-
All right, so we'll dip north, I guess.
You guys are going north? All right. So let me pull out a map real quick.
I'll pick up my
Wow.
backpack that I wasn't carrying the entire time I was fingering Old Faithful because that would just be ridiculous. I would have set that down so I could do that. Obviously, not to
course.
have the weight on my back. And then
All right.
so I
So
start
now,
fully rested.
so you go north from. Hold up a second. There we go. You go north
Do I have
from
a map
Old
of
Faithful.
Do I have a map of Old Faithful at this point?
Of
Was I
Old
smart enough
Faithful?
to bring-
Yes.
like nothing around it.
Nothing around. The trail head, but you don't know where it ends.
Okay, all right.
So you
Well
guys
prepared.
exactly. So you guys head north through from Old Faithful, and the trail starts going east. So you start going east and then north. So you're going like northeast basically. You follow the
Yep.
trail for about an hour or so. During this time, you meet a couple other hikers. You're saying howdy do and all that stuff. Um, let's say you're hiking for
How
about,
many hikers?
let's say for the hour and a half that you guys hiked so far, you've met six hikers. Six
Alright.
hikers have gone by.
And are they coming back this way or going the same way we're going?
Back away from you.
So they're
Okay.
going away. Okay, so I'm gonna ask them as we're walking, how's the trail up ahead?
Everyone says it's pretty good, pretty clear, no issues or anything like that. One group says that they saw a couple of deer.
Dope. I'll get my axe ready for the deer.
Damn right.
I'm coming home with dinner, bitch.
All right. So it's been about an hour and a half. What do you guys think you've gone through so far?
Actually, none of my food. Probably I drank some of my Pepsi. I probably would have. Yeah, my Pepsi's gone. I would have drank that because
You would have drank your Pepsi? All
Yeah,
right.
drink that.
Did you get? So Shank's
And,
Pepsi is gone. Yeah.
maybe my underwear because of the Taco Bell I ate the night before. No,
Do you want to
really,
confirm this or?
No, not really.
All right.
Nothing else that I can. Oh. 2 joints.
You've smoked 2 of your 10?
Yeah.
All
One
right.
of my Pepsis.
And Isaac has taken one of his Pepsis out. So now that all of that is updated. So you boys have gone about an hour and a half into the trail, and you have discovered like a little side pitch that kind of goes off. It's not marked on the map, but it looks like a very obvious trail. There's been enough people who've gone down it where a trail has formed. So you're at this partial split type of thing. What would you boys like to do?
Stay on the main trail.
Stay
Bam.
on stay on the main trail?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you stay on the main trail and you keep heading up forward
I've
for a little
seen
bit.
the Blair Witch shit. I know. The
Smart.
tracks go in. They don't come out.
Absolutely smart. According to fucking experts from what is this? Outdoor Keeper, they say the best option is always stay on the trail, never try to make your own path or any shit like that.
Yeah. I've seen the Blair Witch. I know what's going on. I don't want to get attacked by sticks in the woods
Of course.
and random bundles of teeth.
Obviously the bud's best option is always stay on the trail. So you buds keep walking for about 30 minutes more, keep heading north. Now you come up to a portion of the actual trail that splits into 2. There's a sign that's going north, which Shank, you know this because you have your compass. So you don't have the map, but you have the compass, so you know that facing north, there's a trail that says it's leading to a lake, specifically Beach Lake is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Real thing, real place. Oh, I'm sorry, you're actually at Mallard Lake. So you're in Mallard Lake
Oh.
if you head north, or you can continue following the trail west, and this heads, for a lot longer. That's the initial trail. Heading towards the lake is kind of just like a lookout spot. So you can go look out at the lake real quick if you would like.
And how many hours in are we now?
You are about 2.5 hours in out of your 3 hour. You're almost at the point where you're going to stop to actually eat, which is over on the Mallard Creek.
I mean, yeah, we could go up to that place, just eat, and then come back down the trail.
So you guys have decided you're just going to go eat up over at the lake?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys follow the trail over to the lake, and you guys decide that there's too much commotion and everything like that. So you guys follow along the shores of the beach a little bit further, and you find a relatively remote spot where you're still along the beach, and you decide to sit there to eat your lunch. So, Shank, you're the one with the cooking gear.
Yeah, I'm gonna just cook some food. I've got 2 pounds of food. That's more than enough for both of us. I cook 1 pound. I
Isaac's-
could cook 1 pound of food. Well, Isaac's gonna eat his, so I'm just
Isaac's
gonna
got
cook like
4.
this is gonna be like a small meal. So I guess I'm gonna cook like 1 pound of it,
Basically.
like just to fill myself up, and then fucking just stow all my cooking gear.
So about 1 pound each.
Mhm.
All right, so 1 pound from Shank, 1 pound from Isaac, leaving him with 3.
Maybe another Pepsi gone.
And Isaac's drinking his last Pepsi with his dinner. Have you drinking any
Can I
of
get
your
a
water,
drink,
Isaac?
like
Probably maybe
All right, let's say you're
a half a gallon, not like what 0.5 gallons.
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
At this point, I probably would have taken a few sips out of my water.
All right.
Probably
So
would-
Shane,
I probably wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't have drank a lot of it. Just a few sips out of it while I was eating. So maybe like a cup.
I'll put you at 1.5 liters just in case you were washing
Yeah.
down the Pepsi too,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and with the joints and everything.
Makes sense,
How
yeah.
many
Sounds
joints
good.
are you smoking with lunch?
Ooh, I'll smoke
at
one
this
before. I'll actually I'm gonna roll. No, I'm gonna smoke one of my joints. Just one joint before I eat.
All right. So just one joint. So you're at 7. Okay. So you guys are pretty much in a really good spot right now. Obviously, you're, not going through everything at a crazy pace, and for your 6-hour hike, this is obviously pretty easy. So the issue happens once you guys have finished up eating. So the first thing is somebody comes running from the woods and they throw a backpack at you. And then they continue running along the breach back to the trails. Now, the backpack that they have thrown at you is the random backpack that I've given you guys in the picture, and you
bomb?
buds have been able to see. No, it is not a bomb. It's a random backpack. You buds decide to look inside of it, and inside you see a blanket, 1 t-shirt, 2 chunks of charcoal, 3 Ziploc bags, 1 Ziploc bag full of white rice, a packet of steel wool, a tiki idol, like from Until Dawn, like one of those future seeing ones, a bottle of hand sanitizer, a wallet with no ID, $800 cash, a half full or half empty water bottle, depending on how you're feeling that day, an empty Desert Eagle, no bullets in the magazine, nothing in the chamber, and a battery powered radio. It's all inside of this backpack. What do you buds decide to do?
Is he coming back for the bag?
He's ran off, and he looks completely uninterested to the point where he threw it at you guys almost as if it's like, get the fuck away from me. Here, just take it.
Frankly, I mean, I don't want to be seen carrying the backpack around. Because that's just bad news. I've seen fucking Fargo. I know what it's like to find money and shit in a fucking bag and take it, and then have like bad people come for you. So, maybe Isaac, you want to just take the money at the dig, and we'll leave the bag and just go.
It could be a murder weapon.
Okay, let's leave the dig. Just take the money. We'll check if the bills are a die pack or anything like that, or if they're sequential.
They're
If they're
crumbled
non-traceable
up.
and non.
They're
yeah.
crumbled up. It's a combination of hundreds, 50s, and 20s. It's literally like it was part of the wallet, but
Okay, so
if
the money had
yeah.
fallen out. So the dude was just carrying 800 in cash in him in a wallet with no ID.
So what are you
would-
thinking, Isaac?
I would take the radio and the hand sanitizer.
Isaac wants the radio and the hand sanitizer.
And I'm just fucking leaving literally everything else.
Like those to come in handy.
I'm just yeah. Wait. That
Yeah.
tiki idol's really tempting. No, I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, I'll leave it.
All right.
I'm just
Alright.
yeah. It's like fuck that. I'm just leaving. Like I'm not.
So literally everything else you guys want to leave.
You fucked up, man. I don't want somebody to be all like, "Oh, you have my bag." I'm gonna be like, "No, the fuck, I don't." Check that shit back there, brief. It's right by that fucking lake. I didn't do shit.
As a former Deagle owner, it would be cool to have it again, but it could
Alright.
be a murder weapon. I don't
Now,
wanna risk it.
Yeah,
not
you don't
to
have that.
not to ruin the story or retcon anything, but hypothetically, let's say you guys went into the woods and you found this guy dead, and he had the backpack next to him. What would be your
I
reaction?
wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch that shit. I'd leave it right the fuck where it was.
Okay.
Right the fuck where it was. Actually, in fact, I'd be checking if I had cell phone signal. Like, I'd
You
be
don't.
like,
Obviously, it's open already. So
yeah,
And
but
we
this
know
dude,
these-
like,
we
but this
know-
dude
we already
ran
know
by and
these
threw
are
it at
in
us, so we could reasonably say that we can reasonably assert that we opened the bag simply to see who it belonged to, like, and why they would have thrown it at us, you know? Like, if someone's like, why'd you open that bag? And it's like, well, this dude randomly threw it at us. I wanted to check why he did that.
And also at this point, you were completely out of the view of anybody else who could really
Yeah, and
see
it's like,
you or
and
care
honestly,
about
straight
it.
up,
But
like, I'm not getting involved in that shit. I would,
okay.
reasonably, I would tell a ranger about it afterwards. Like, I'd go back to a ranger station and be like, listen, some dude yeeted a bag at me by
Well,
the lake.
the specific area you're at, there is no ranger station until you get back to
No, that's what I mean. Like, it wouldn't be
civilization.
right now. Like, it wouldn't be right
Of
now. It
course.
would be something that I'd do after the hike.
I get you. Which also, Yellowstone does have, I mean, not a huge amount, but there are a couple reported people who
So then,
go missing on the hiking trails and
So-
quite a few people who end up showing up dead.
so
Yeah,
then in that
it does happen.
prospect,
So
I
don't
would
leave the
say-
trail.
I would say hide the bag, take a picture of it. That's how Park Ranger when we get
Oh,
back.
yeah. That's a
Okay.
good idea. It's like, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Take a picture of it and fucking.
All
Then we
right.
can be like, we'll tell
Oh.
somebody about it when we get back to the base or whatever.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So now this entire time that you guys have been walking around, Isaac, you have had a Bluetooth speaker on you as well. Have you been using this, or have you guys just been talking?
I would say probably used it a bit
You played
So
some music
listen-
or such?
to listen to the Good Buds podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. How many
we
episodes?
we just got episodes of it playing in the background while we're walking.
How many?
He can use my
two.
portable battery to extend its life
So
a
I would
little bit
I would
too,
say
because
I would say 2 because 3 hours.
I would say about 3 hours on the Bluetooth battery speaker life. So if you want 2 hours or 2 episodes would probably fill it out.
Yeah.
Now Shane, now let's say
yeah.
by the time you guys are done eating, Isaac's Bluetooth speaker is dead.
Oh, we're
And-
taking the
Well,
battery
yeah,
powered
I-
radio.
I would let him. I was gonna say I could let him use my portable battery and fucking charge that shit back up.
I was also about to say both of your phones are at roughly 50%.
Oh, and well, wait. Now, what quality of portable battery do I have? Do I have one of those bunk ass Canadian Tire / like Home Depot, like $5 fucking battery banks, or do I have like an actual good battery pack that has several USB slots on the front and it's like good for like a 12-hour charge or whatever?
It's more or less good for like a 4-hour charge. So you'll
Wow.
probably get about 50% of your battery back.
Hmm.
Or either 50% of your phone battery back or 50% of, or pretty much the entirety of the Bluetooth battery back.
Well, if
This
I'm
is
in the
smaller battery.
if we're in the woods, we probably want to like, you know, he's
So I'm
got the
saying, if we're taking the radio,
he took the battery powered radio, so he can always
Okay.
do that.
So
And
you
I'll
guys
fucking
are,
yeah, and I'll just fucking just
Alright.
like use it
The
to
radio-
charge the phones.
yeah, the radio comes in a little bit staticky, but you guys can still find a couple stations that work.
Dope.
So, as you boys are continuing on through the trail, let's say you head south, continue on the trail away from the lake. This is when, like, you butts need to get lost, so you guys go off the trail and you get lost. I
No,
was trying.
I don't wanna.
Too bad it happened. It looked like it was trailable, and it wasn't a trail, and you went over the trail, and you went over Mallard Creek, and you went north, and now you're in the vast wilderness of fucking Yellowstone.
God damn it! God damn it! Hypothetical me. That is not
Yeah.
something real me would do. Buds at
So-
home, don't do what hypothetical me does.
So, hypothetical mistakes that have been made accidentally already
Shit
by
happens.
chance.
Tell people where to
Obviously,
fence.
like we said, don't get off the trail. They were smart about that, but for the sake of the story, they're gone.
Whoop.
And number 2, from Yellowstone, or from Old Faithful, if you head north, you're basically heading into the center of Yellowstone, which is just a giant ring of a road with a couple of trails that go off of it, with a couple that go in. But once you get to the dead ass center of it, there's nothing. It's a dense forest and nature reserve in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, to the south of it, you go a little bit further and there's an Indian reservation, and then you go a little bit further than that and there's another national park with more trails and such. So you guys would find better civilization if you would have gone south. But you've gone north.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And hypothetically, your buds' more than likely best option would be head north. Thought process wise. So
Yeah.
I'll give you buds the option. Are you going northwest or northeast? How are you buds how did you buds differ slightly? Let's say you can't head true north, you instead head northwest or northeast.
West.
Yeah, you west, I assume, yeah. I don't know,
What?
like, I'm not sure. I don't really know the geography, but I'm gonna assume west.
Okay.
Yeah,
West
west
is,
is.
yes, west is better option. Since it would be where the trail normally would be going, it would hypothetically make sense that that would be where the stuff would be. And yes, if you head northwest, eventually you will hit a creek that will definitely bring you to safety. But we need to get you there. And in order to do that, you're running through vast wilderness and other such. That's going to take you multiple hours to get through.
Shit.
If there was a trail. And there isn't. And it's getting dark soon.
Yeah. Well, we just have
Alright.
to make sure that we maintain one direction. So Zane,
Damn right.
don't leave.
Keep
But
your,
anyway,
and keep your Harrys styled.
but no joke though, since we are off the trail, the moment I realize that we're lost and we've picked a direction to walk in, I'm definitely gonna find some way to mark the trees to know I'm going in a straight line,
Heard
because
that.
it's that's something that I would do. So I'm gonna use, like, I guess
You got a pocket knife or
well, I'm gonna use my axe I'll use my axe because it's easier just to, like, chip some bark off the side of the trees. Like,
Okay.
basically just, like, I'll chip, like, the sides of the trees so that I can see the marks and I can line up the trees and know that I'm going in a straight line.
Gotcha.
Wait, I have a compass anyway. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
follow my compass and make sure that I'm going in a straight line, unless this is a Blair Witch scenario, in which case I still want to mark the trees. Is the compass going cray cray, or is it working
No,
normally?
you have a good you have a good compass. No
Okay,
cray
cool,
cray.
then. All right,
So-
no cray cray compass. Then I don't even need to mark the trees. We'll just make sure we go in a straight line.
Yeah. So, and for the sake of it, I would give you guys, since I forgot you had the compass, you still decide go northwest as opposed to just straight north, just
Yeah.
because you guys have semi figured that part out.
Yeah.
I mean, at
Compass.
that point, you could go south. So you fall and break your compass.
God damn it! God damn it, hypothetical me, you're such a fuck up!
I'm
God,
so
you're-
sorry.
He's starting to disappoint me as much as real me.
See, this is the reason I don't actually DM. Wait, no, I need you guys to go there. So Shank, you're dead.
Yeah, you die and then you're resurrected in this fucking room that I need you to be in.
You know what? Isaac, actually, you never discovered magic.
Yeah.
Come
For
to
the
think
sake of
it.
this dungeon, you forget magic.
Sounds like my luck.
Oopsie poopsie. All right.
Yeah. So I broke my compass. So either way, I'm gonna mark some fucking trees. Then I'm gonna
Okay.
use my axe to mark some trees. Make sure I'm staying in a straight line.
So you guys
And
start
which
heading.
way we obviously know by which side the sun is setting on and
Yeah.
all that bullshit that we always learn.
Of course. So you guys start heading over as it starts getting slightly dark, and
Yeah.
you guys need to figure out what you need to do now. So what do you need to do now?
It starts getting dark.
It's starting to get dark. Yes.
Fire.
Fire.
Fire. Okay.
Well, we clearly need to look for somewhere need to look for somewhere that's appropriate to set up a shelter for the night, obviously, because we're gonna have to be here for the night more than likely.
All right. So
That's
what
a
is your
reasonable-
guys? Correct. So what's your guys' ideal thing that you guys are looking for right now? Are you looking for
Somewhere dry, somewhere uphill, so that if it rains or anything like that, the water doesn't come down and pool around me. Fucking preferably somewhere that has something raised up, and maybe something with a fallen tree that's already, like, conveniently there to block the wind and shit like that.
All right, so perfectly enough, you guys find a situation that's just like that, kind of a hill,
Dope.
a toppled tree already on top of it. It's more uphill on relatively soft ground, but you guys can make it work. In fact, there's
Dope.
actually 2 trees that you guys could pick from. Now, one of them has a couple, or now both the fallen trees have leaves and mushrooms growing on them. Now, one of the trees has leaves that are very wide, very broad, and it's a bundle of like 5 of them at a time with nothing else on them, just, green, big leafy vine. And the mushrooms on it have like a beige color to it, basically. And they're the very long, flat ones. Very long, flat mushrooms, beige color. The other tree has leaves that are kind of smaller, more whitish in tint, and have 3 white little berries with them on their
Mhm.
vine.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then the mushrooms on that are more of a reddish tone. It's not red, but it's like a more reddish beigeish tone. And again, flat mushrooms. What tree are you going for?
I'm gonna say
Not the shroomy one.
what were the second leaves like?
They both have shrooms, Isaac. And
Oh.
the second leaves were not big and broad, but they were more small, pointy, and kind of whitish green, like a winter green, as
I'm gonna
opposed
go
to
with
like a big
the
grape.
first one.
You're going with the first one,
Yeah.
Isaac. What's your vote?
Same.
Same first one. All right, you
Yeah.
buds are safe because the second one was covered in poison ivy and poisonous
Well, yeah.
mushrooms.
The way you
And wait, I was
explained
gonna
it,
say how many, and I was gonna say how many leaves was it? It was like leaves
3.
of 3.
Yep,
leave it
Leaves
be.
of 3, leave it be.
exactly.
The way he
Yeah.
explained it, I already know because I've dealt with poison ivy.
Same.
Yeah.
So
Shit's
poison
whack,
ivy,
yo.
and obviously, if you buds didn't pick up on that, poison ivy grows in leaves of 3. It has little white berries on that occasionally, and grows in a very large vine, usually on living or dead trees. It doesn't matter.
And it hurts your butthole.
Hurts your butthole.
It also like at my own house. It also will go up like anything that they can go up on vine wise.
That's a vine. It's they're climbing,
behind.
so they'll grab onto anything. that
Yes, because behind
Mhm.
my old house we had this big brick wall because right on the other side was a plywood like warehouse where they would make them. So
Yeah.
and the big wall for the warehouse right behind my house, and we cleared the vines off of it. Didn't know it was poison ivy, and boom.
Surprise.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Surprise,
All right.
surprise.
So you buds
Yeah,
were
no,
able to
yeah,
avoid
so-
the poison log and decided to pick the correct one, and you guys start
fuck
building
yeah.
your shelter. How are you buds building your shelter exactly?
Well, I know for a fact that I've got a tarp, which is super handy.
That's what I was gonna
Absolutely.
say. If he has a tarp, we can.
Yeah, no, I got a tarp, which is super handy. So I'm basically gonna make some pegs, some spikes or pegs out of tree branches. I'm gonna like use my axe to cut some tree branches and like make some pegs out of it. I'm gonna
Right.
use the log, the fallen log itself, as like the base part of one side of the tent, and I'd like to, wait, hold on, what do I have here? What else do I have? All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna use some of my paracord to basically tie up a central, like, basically archway on the
Right.
top. Between 2 points, can I do that? Are there like
Yeah.
2 points nearby? I can do that. Okay, cool.
Yes,
So
there
like
are.
between 2 points, I'll use my paracord. Just some of it. Probably it's like I've got 10 feet, so I'm probably only gonna need like, I'll use all 10 of it. Whatever. Actually, Isaac, you want to use your cheap rope?
Might as well.
All right, so we'll use Isaac's cheap rope, 10 feet of
Okay.
cheap rope. Just to tie that, we'll use some good knots because Boy Scouts always prepared. I got kicked out of Boy Scouts for eating a brownie once.
Joke gets
But-
more fucked up
Scouts.
the older we get.
but anyway, fucking yeah, I'll use the tarp anyway to over that central cord. And then on the other side, I'll use the pegs that I made out of the sticks, like, and I'll just use my axe to kind of hammer those into the ground and like hammer the tarp down with it.
You could dig it.
And put some rocks on top of that just to kind of weigh it down extra, like, and give it some like wind resistance. Yeah, and we can build the fire right outside of that, and yeah, that way
Alright.
we won't need to worry about ventilation or anything like that, and we'll still get some warmth.
All right. So how are you buds going to be building your fire? Obviously, sticks and such like that.
Sticks, leaves, and since obviously we're gonna have a lighter because Shank is smoking joints.
Yeah, I've been smoking, so obviously I have a lighter.
Of course you do.
Like yeah,
So-
so yeah, so I'll just use my lighter, and like to
Sticks,
light. First of all, I'll light a joint
leaves.
because
Okay.
I'm stressed out at this point. I'm gonna smoke another, actually 2 joints at this point.
I was gonna say you're probably about at 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna smoke 2 joints at this point. Just have 2 in my mouth burning at the same time because I'm like stressed out, and I will basically use my lighter at that same time to like just carefully light a small fire to get started, and then I can build on top of that. But if possible, I would like to dig it down, like dig down a little bit, so it's not like on level ground. Like I'd like to have it kind of dug down a
Yeah.
little bit with channels dug into the outside of it, so that it can have airflow into the bottom and still be recessed into the ground.
Of course.
Not like Dakota Fire Pit style, where you like dig the fucking hole big
Right.
asshole. Like, not that I'm not really gonna get into that bullshit, but like I can do like a small pit with some air channels, just
Yeah.
so that the fire's
And
safer from getting
everything
blown.
you're saying is pretty much recommended by
Yeah.
survival experts as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, and, like we'd light that fire and fucking I guess since it's starting to get dark, yeah, we'll wait for a little while before we eat that food. Like I'd probably eat half a pound of my leftover food, like
Alright,
just to kind of fuel myself from all the walking that we've done, and like before I go to bed, because
for
then I'll
sure.
wake up and I won't feel like I need to eat something first thing when I wake up.
So Shank has half pound of food left. Uh, Isaac, what are you doing?
I would say a half pound and probably like a quarter of water.
Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe another quarter of a liter of water because at this point I'd know that I have to kind of ration it out a little bit, so I wouldn't be drinking it too desperately.
Yeah, since what
Dig
I
it.
would be at 1.25 gallons of water left.
Correct. So 1.25, and then I'll put you down at 2.5 pounds of food, Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shank's had a half pound of food left with 1 and a liter water.
Oh, I forgot I have cooking gear. Wait, what kind of mushrooms did you say were on the log that were near?
Poisonous, not
Oh,
the fun poisonous. The
no,
ones
no,
that
no.
on you are not. They're
No,
not
that's what I
edible.
mean. The ones that they're
I
not
mean,
edible. Okay,
they're edible, but they don't
because I
offer anything.
okay, because I know that there were like some I forget what they were, but they were like fucking tree steak basically, and I forget what they look like exactly, but I know that there was like
Yeah.
one type of mushroom that grew on logs like that, like toadstool style, that were fucking apparently dope to cook, but I don't know
Yeah.
enough about
This is
them.
not
There are
the.
only a few mushrooms that I know well enough that I would see them in the wild and feel confident to eat them, and if I don't recognize it immediately, there's no chance I'll eat it.
For
If
sure.
I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's a morel, I'd fucking.
Yeah. All right. So, um, now you guys have eaten your food, all of that stuff. Shank, I'll say you smoke one more joint before bed, so you're down to
Yeah,
4.
yeah.
All right. So now it's about to be going to bedtime. What is your bud's procedure?
All right. So, whatever food that we've
Cold?
got, basically,
Is it
I'd
cold?
like to.
Is it cold? It is now 40 degrees out Fahrenheit. 45,
Uh,
45 degrees out Fahrenheit.
then I'm
So it's
gonna
getting pretty chilly.
put on my extra clothes.
All right.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say the same thing. I'll put on my extra, like my jacket and heavy coat because I probably wasn't wearing it at this point, and then I'll just fucking be like, all right, dope.
All
I'm
right. So
expecting I was already wearing one hoodie, so I'm bringing another one. So I'll just double
Yeah.
down on the hoodie
Well, I
and
mean, if
bring it.
Isaac, honestly, I'll give Isaac one of my actually no, because yeah, I'll give him one of my. Oh no, he got a pair of socks, an extra pair.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can just
Dude,
throw
you
on an
don't
extra
got
pair.
underwear. Look at you, nasty thing. Come on.
we're only gonna be here
Well,
for one day. You're the one who's gonna shit yourself.
That's true, actually. That's true. Actually, I'm
All
gonna
right.
put on my extra pair of underwear as well
you're the one with IBS.
for my clothes. So it's like fucking Superman style.
Gotcha. All right. So Shank's underwear is on. His heavy coat and his jacket is on. Isaac has his jacket and hoodie on.
I'm prepping for the night.
Are you putting on your extra pair of socks, Isaac, or leaving those?
No, put them on.
Put them on.
Put,
Okay.
put
But
'em
I
on.
am gonna keep in mind that I'm gonna keep my stuff unzipped until the point that I get too cold to or too warm. Like if I'm like, because if
Yeah.
I'm gonna get overheated pretty quickly. Obviously, as a Canadian, I know that you need to layer up, but you also need to be smart and have zippable layers. And basically, it's one of those things where it's just smart to like know that keep your jackets open until you need to seal them. So as it gets progressively colder, I'll just like zip up one more
Yeah.
layer and then
Of
another
course. Of
layer,
course.
like just to keep myself adjusted.
So, all right. So you buds bundle up in all of your stuff. What are you
Fucking
doing about your
camo.
fire?
Letting it go.
Keep it
Letting
fed.
it go?
Just kind of just kind of keep it fed. Like make
All
sure
right.
that we kind of like tend the coals and like kind of like have like a good stack of wood nearby. I have an axe, so I can
All
look
right.
for any like somewhat dead trees, or any somewhat like
Yeah.
easy to chop trees that won't take too much effort to get down, and like
Gotcha.
chop those,
Gotcha.
hack them up into good sized pieces, and bam.
So,
Okay. Crazy.
all right. So you got your fire still going. You guys are about to head to sleep. Anything further you guys want to do before you go to bed?
Yes, actually. Yes. Isaac, do you want to take the rest? Do you want me to take the rest of your food put it into my bag, and use the paracord to tie it up off the ground.
I would just tie up both bags.
Yeah, why don't we tie up both bags? Yeah, we'll take my paracord, my 10 feet of paracord, find a high tree, like high enough tree, like swing my paracord over the branch, like a branch,
Yep.
and like tie
And
the
hang
bag
it up
up,
top.
and just pull them up and tie them up, and just like make sure that they're like tied up and out of the way,
All right.
nice and high up off the ground, and like maybe about like 15 feet away from the camp or so, like 15 or so feet, like to
So
the side
your
of the
bags
camp.
are 15 feet away from the camp
Like
now.
hung up in
Okay.
a tree.
Gotcha.
Oh, what the fuck?
All right.
And yeah,
And
that's
this
about
is, yep, that's a very smart thing to do, especially when you're in bear country, with which Yellowstone is bear country. Very smart thing to do, considering animals can smell your food and will come exploring if they
What the
sense
fuck?
that they have it near. So rather than, give them that satisfaction, just hang your food up in a tree, and it's much harder for them to get to.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly, right? Like
shit.
it's one of those things where like it just makes sense that my video is fucking crazy right now. Like my
It's okay.
camera's going fuck.
Here, I'm just putting the inventory over your face, so it's
There
all
we go,
clear.
perfect. My camera's going fucked right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, no, like honestly, that's I've known that because I live where there are bears. The bears that live where I live aren't scary bears. They're black bears, and they're like they do get up to like 400, 500 pounds or maybe more than that. But for the most part, they're the kind of bears that if you're like boogity boogity boo, they're like oh fuck
Right.
me, and they run away.
Alright.
But
No one
yes,
right there.
I know you gotta keep your food up when you're camping.
Exactly.
I got a bear right
Oh,
here, so I think I know what I'm doing.
It's true. You got a bear right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta keep your food up or secured or somewhere so locked away that they can't, which is why most people and most of the time in Michigan when they say, hey, you're going camping, even though it's not bear country, it's coyotes, but they still say it's better to keep all food in your car just because they can't get through your car.
Yeah, except for this one case that I read on the internet where a bear basically did fucking to be fair to the bear, the people had left their window open a crack, and the
Yeah.
bear had managed to basically like smash
Crunch the
down the
window.
window and
Yeah.
like smash down the window and then climb into the car and literally tore the inside of the car to absolute shit.
Oh yeah.
And that bear got into that car. But if you have all your windows up, coyotes might scratch your paint, but they won't get your food.
And they won't kill you because your food's
Yeah,
not with you.
'cause
So,
if it's in your tent, they can rip through fabric pretty easy.
Yep.
alright. So you buds are pretty smart on all that shit and everything's good. You guys go to sleep, everything's fine. You do wake up, I'll say 4 o'clock is when you guys wake up in the morning. And that's because there was an updraft and the wind moved up the hill and the fire that you guys had lit had some embers that were still in there and those blew onto your tent and they melted up your
That's
tarp.
why I dug the pit. So there wouldn't be so the wind wouldn't blow the fire. Like that's why you dig the pit with the channels so that it doesn't do that.
It did that.
No.
Did.
No. Physics cannot break. My hypothetical character might make stupid decisions, but we can't break science. I made a smart decision with the fire pit.
You guys were on an uphill.
Yeah, I know,
So
but
it
that's
was
why
good.
I dug down into the hill so that it would, if wind came up the hill, it wouldn't go down into or blow onto the.
Travel
Would
up
go over
into
it.
would travel up and into a spiral and blow.
I'll spiral into your butthole. But okay, go ahead.
Embers caught on the tarp. The tarp melted, the rope burnt, and you guys are still okay. Everything. You guys woke up and everything was fine, and you got out of there. So your tent's gone, and I'll
Balls.
say the outer layer of what you guys were wearing is gone. So you guys are down one jacket each.
Is suicide an option?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at
Currently,
Isaac.
no.
I'm gonna look at Isaac and I'm gonna say, Isaac. I don't know why, but in this survival situation, I feel like scared, and also like we're being railroaded.
I feel like this is bullshit.
Hey, at least you're not naked and also afraid.
Well, I mean, if I
Oh,
had
we're
one
clothed
extra
and
layer of
afraid.
clothing, I probably would have woken up naked and afraid.
Fair.
All right, but all right, fine. I'm gonna go collect our bags, I guess, and my
Thanks.
paracord.
Good. 'Cause
Yeah.
you guys still have all of that.
And
You guys
I'm
were
gonna
smart.
make me and Isaac both primitive spears out of sticks nearby using my hatchet. Just very quickly make us primitive spears, so we've got those.
Actually, I just realized, Shank, your heavy coat is destroyed, but you still got your jacket.
All right,
You're still
Good.
warm. Still
Good.
toasty. and I won't burn your under. You know what? Yeah, your second pair
No!
of underwear.
How about just charred on the back in a way that
Alright,
makes it
you
look
had
like I
ch-
poop myself?
You have charred bum on your underwear.
All right,
I'll give you
makes
that.
it look like I poop myself, but I didn't actually poop myself. It just looks like I did.
It's stupid.
Yeah, that is stupid. But all right, so fuck it. Well, so I guess we'll keep fucking going the direction we were going.
Okay.
Sure.
You guys start
Get
going
our-
in the direction you were going.
Collect our
Over.
my paracord and collect. I mean, honestly, we could. I do have 10 feet of paracord, Isaac. We only need like 3 each.
Yes.
Um,
It took me 2 seconds to understand that, and I did.
Well, you want to fucking David Garrity in this shit? Well, like, you know, two celebrities from the Good
look, we
Buds podcast were found naked and afraid.
Look,
and
we can short it on the loops, and we can make this.
It's like found naked, jerking off in the woods, dead.
Okay. I mean, you guys are doing great.
No, yeah, fuck it. We'll just keep going to the direction we were going. Like,
Trust me, you guys
I'll
already
check-
could have
I'll
died
check-
like 12 times.
I'll check my tree markers to make sure that we're still heading in the right direction. Then fucking continue.
You guys are headed in the right direction. Everything's smooth, grooving, and everything like that. You go for 2 hours. You're starting to feel a little hungry, grumbly.
Nintendo Makalisi, baba.
Jank, you're down to 1 joint left because it's definitely that time.
No, that's cool. Actually, I was gonna say I'm actually gonna start hitting the vape pen when I have 1 joint left. I'm not gonna smoke it right away. I'm gonna save that joint because I'm gonna start having to roll them soon. And what I'm gonna do is save that joint. I'm saving that joint until we get back to the trail, and know that we can go in a direction like until we actually, it's more
Yeah.
specifically until we find a trail sign or trail marker of some kind. Then I'm gonna smoke that joint. But
Bet.
before that, I'm gonna hit the vape pen for a little while, at least until that thing chokes out.
Okay, that thing is fully
It's
charged as of right now.
Yeah, 'cause I haven't touched it.
Pretty much fully charged. You only hit it on the car right there once or twice.
Dope. Dope. All right. So yeah, dope. All right. So I'm gonna start hitting the vape pen, and I know that I'm gonna have to start rolling joints soon, and I don't want to stop to do that yet. So I'm just gonna keep boogieing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I
Um,
might eat like let's say I have what 1 pound of food left, or
You got a half
pound?
pound.
Okay, I'm gonna eat half of that, so I'll have a 1/4 pound of food.
All right, you got a 1/4 pound of food left, and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna assume that since morning, since waking up, and with all the fucking commotion of that, you already went through a 1/4 of your liter of water.
And
before
while
you
I'm
got to
walking,
this point.
while I'm walking, I'm gonna look for any small game that I could potentially try to get with my my crude spear that I carved.
You see squirrels and chipmunks, but they all scurry and flutter from you as soon as you look at them.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then you look like you're really badass and about to, and then you start weeping a little bit, and then you
Yeah,
stop.
I can do. Well, I mean, honestly, in a survival situation, I probably would. Well, no, because at this point, I don't feel like I'm gonna die yet, so I'll just keep going.
No, I
'Cause
have to
until
go
I
home.
feel like-
I have to go home. I can't do this.
No, until I'm feeling like I might potentially die without
Alright.
food, which I don't think I'll be in at this point. Then,
Oh,
yeah,
all right.
I'll
Do
just
you guys
knock
go
out
through-
squirrels.
You know what? Let's just get to it. So
I'll think about it, though.
while you guys are pulling out food, a bear comes.
What
Bear.
kind of bear? What color bear? What size bear?
Colors. The color of the bear is brown.
Okay. Brown bear? Big brown bear or like big brown bear?
Big brown bear.
Okay, so
Round ears.
What
are
do you
there
prefer?
any long branches nearby that are like branchy?
You guys kind of sat down in a clearing. The clearing's about, I'd say, 50 yards in all directions. You guys decide to sit Sound of Music style directly in the center of this meadow, basically, and you see the bear on the wood line 50 yards out, or 50 feet out.
Are there any baby bears anywhere near me?
You
Or
can't see
around me?
around you, no. In the meadow, no. But you can't see because the grass comes up to like here on the baby, so it would perfectly hide any cubs. You are unsure. Bear is 50 feet out and is sniffing around.
And I'm just gonna go the opposite direction until.
I'm gonna stand up very slowly, not making any sudden movements,
Okay.
and then be like, "Hey bear! Hey bear!"
Isaac, are you still going in the opposite direction? Or are you gonna sit with Shank while he does this
What direction is the bear?
in
Don't
front
run,
of you?
Isaac. Don't run.
No, in front, the way we're going.
In front the way you're going, yes.
You either act big or play dead. If acting big doesn't work, you go into play dead mode.
I guess I'm just gonna play dead.
So Isaac lays there. Shank gets really tall and starts screaming at this bear. The bear
Well, more
goes from,
specifically, yelling, "Hey, bear!"
"Hey, bear!"
Let it know that
So-
I'm here. Like, make the bear aware of my human presence. You know what I mean?
So the bear's
Like-
sniffing around. The bear looks and sees you. The bear turns, sniffs around, and continues walking forward a little bit. Now, let's say after about 30 minutes have passed, the bear is still in the vicinity, but like away from where you guys need to go now. Let's say you guys are heading northwest. The bear is now like directly west of you guys, chilling around there. Still,
Fuck it. We just go
and
for it.
hold on. Right before you guys decide that you're about to book it, a baby cub does come out.
Oh, son of a bitch! Which direction?
It's not
Same
coming towards
direction
you.
as mom?
It's with the mom, yeah. It's with the mom, but it just finally comes out of the grass into the fucking, meadow area, and then fucking like goes back with the mom.
Why don't you just kill
Very
the bear?
slowly and carefully going the other direction. Very like keeping eye contact on where that bear is, and just very slowly and cautiously, like fucking like.
Are you trying to head northwest, or are you just going complete opposite?
Just like as I'm gonna like as soon get far enough away from the bear that I feel like I can safely go northwest without being close to the bear.
Understood.
Like I want to make sure that and make sure at the time that I'm checking
Did you
around.
say
me to make
bear?
sure I did
Hey,
say
people.
bear. My God, one appeared out of nowhere.
Hey,
But and I'm gonna make sure that there are no cubs on the opposite side of me and Mama. Like make sure that there's none over there and the mom's there, because that's like
course.
never gonna happen. I will never let that happen because then I will be Bear Chow.
of course.
And my
You don't
name
want
is
to be bear chow.
it's Shank. You can find me at Twitch at Goodbuds Shank down below.
Um,
You
So,
might be
yeah.
able to see shoot if you go at Goodbuds Curtis on Twitch.
you can see it on our YouTube page. You should be subscribed.
Right now, yeah, if you're watching.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
he's so precious. All right.
my
So anyway, so you guys successfully avoid the bear completely. You never even have to deal with any bear attack or anything because that's
Thank
the
God.
best thing you can do. Obviously, Shank growing up in bear country, you probably already knew this, but
Yeah.
best thing you can do if you come across a bear is if you're within a 50 or outside of a 50-yard distance of it, let it be known that your presence is there. And if the bear starts coming towards you or anything like that, just slowly move in opposite direction. If bear does start coming towards you, you stand ground.
Well, when it was milling around, I assumed at that point that there were probably cubs in the scenario because I know that bears typically they'll either move towards a threat or away from a threat unless they have cubs, in which case they'll stay near their cubs. And if the threat gets closer to the bear, then they'll attack it. Or if the threat comes between a cub and the mom, then they'll attack it. But otherwise, the mom will just stay by the cubs. And if you slowly move away, the bear will stay with her cubs instead of running after a potential attacker. She'll just kind of
Right.
be like, all right, they're backing the fuck off. As long as my cubs aren't over there, then fuck them.
Everything's fine.
Let them go. Like, and so I was like, yeah, no. But a lot of bears, yeah, if you make yourself look big as fuck, like grab some big old branchy branches and be like, wooga wooga woo, bear. Like, hey, bear. They'll be like, what the fuck is that? And they'll just run. Because bears do have a very strong flight response. People like picture them from movies where like the upcoming Cocaine Bear, where they'll just like attack you if they're pissed. But most of the time, like, bears will just be like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and just book it. Because they don't know what a human is, and we're potentially a threat, so...
Exactly. All right.
They want to live to fuck. That's what bears think. They want to live to fuck.
Well, with that, you buds basically haven't gone through any of your bullshit or anything like that. So I'll just say you continued moving and you made it to a river. To that river, you just continued following it, and it led you right back to the trails. And you buds were able to survive. It took you a huge ordeal, and you spent overnight in the woods, but you made it.
Dope.
Fucking, I did
That was
have
an
a little
adventure.
bit more, but most of it required you buds actually deciding, hey, I'm gonna take the fucking random backpack.
Yeah, but we're smart.
Yeah, we're smart, and you should be smart too. If someone
Absolutely.
yeets a random backpack at you in the woods, I mean,
Don't take
if
it.
you want to be, if you want to be like, a little bit
Yeah.
sketchy, you can take a couple bills for the emotional
Well,
damage that you got from someone throwing something at you.
well,
But
here's the thing.
leave it back there.
I was hoping you buds would be able to, suspend your disbelief for a fucking minute. Because here's the real reasons for it. So the blanket could have been used for shelter or anything like that in replacement
Yeah.
of a tarp. Same with the t-shirt.
Yeah.
The two chunks of
Can
charcoal.
I say what I know I can use stuff for? You do the charcoal. I don't know what you would
Well,
use that for, but
what were you gonna use for?
well, I was gonna say like basically the fucking the steel wool you can use with the battery from the fucking from the radio, and you can make a fire.
That's
'Cause
correct.
steel wool and batteries are dope.
And that was gonna
Don't
be
do
one
it
of
at
the
home.
things. Try it
Maybe,
under
unless you're an
supervision.
adult. Yeah, if you're an adult, go the fuck nuts. But make sure you
Who
do it
cares?
on concrete.
But yeah, the steel wool, if you specifically asked, was going to be very fine steel wool that you would use for scrubbing dishes and whatnot.
Yep.
Obviously, the really thick stuff doesn't work
No,
as well.
it's
You
got to be
want
that
the
very fine.
really,
Like
yeah, basically like fibers of metal. Um,
yeah,
and then the battery powered radio. If you asked me what batteries it took, I would have said C or D batteries, which obviously the bigger the battery, the better it is.
Yep.
Or a 9-volt works too. But
9 volt would have been the best because then it has both the contacts on the same end. If you have one of the other ones, you might need to find a way to bridge the two ends and connect them to whatever wire source
you had
got.
it.
But that's
I would have said you had
totally
enough
reasonable.
steel wool to wrap the battery.
That would have been perfect then. Yeah, if you can just pinch the steel wool between two ends of the battery, then it would light up in the middle and you'd be golden.
Exactly.
Drop that in some kindling and you're good to go.
Exactly. So a nice, easy fire starter would be there.
Yeah.
And then to
as for the
continue,
coal, we could use the coal to keep ourselves warm in a safe way.
actually, no. The way to keep the fire going would be the hand sanitizer. That's also a fire starter / accelerant. So that's
True.
what that would have been used for.
But because it's ethyl alcohol, the flames might be clear when you light it on fire, unless there's some kind of like a scent or something mixed into the hand sanitizer. So if you light it on fire and it doesn't look like it's burning, don't put your hands near it without checking with some paper or with like a close hand test to make sure that it's not burning and you just can't see it because
Exactly. The
alcohol
hand
does that
sanitizer
sometimes.
may or may not burn. It also depends on the
a little burn
yeah,
just not clear.
yeah.
It,
If
it
it's
might, might burn clear.
yeah, if it's an alcohol-free hand sanitizer, then it's not going to burn at all, probably.
No.
But that would have taken care of all that. The Tiki Idol from whatchamacallit? Until Dawn just would have told you guys what was going to happen.
Oh.
Really surprised you guys didn't find that one.
I was just like, I was thinking
Interesting.
about it, but then I thought if me in real life came across like a fucking like freaky ass like
I
idol
would
thing
never fucking touch
in
it.
the woods, I'd like look at it like it would be like one of these situations, like fucking like sitting there on the ground like and it'd just be like nope. Like leave it there.
So yeah, that's what that would have been for. The chunks of charcoal actually were meant for water purification.
Oh yeah, carbon filter.
Yep. What you do is you take one of your empty water bottles. I assume you guys would have had one at this point.
Yeah.
You
Because we
cover
don't
it with
litter, and neither should you.
cut up the t-shirt that you got from the random backpack and use that as filtration cloth. Put some of that at the bottom. You then crush up the charcoal and put that at the bottom. Then a layer of sand, then a layer of coarse sand, then a layer of fine sand, then a layer of gravel, and then another t-shirt on top. Slowly pour your water through, and that'll strain the water slowly enough to where you'll have viable drinking water at the bottom. You would then after that, you would just need to boil it off just to kill any further microbes, but
yeah,
very easy.
Hella cleans out all the particulates and everything else, and all the small shit like that.
Meant for an emergency, but it will work in a survival situation.
Yeah,
So that's what
and
the
I mean,
charcoal's
it beats drinking your piss too. And luckily, we were rationing our water, which you should do in a survival situation, like ration your water out.
Yeah, and now here's the thing: since you guys were already smart about it and shit like that, if you had grabbed the Ziploc bags, I would have made it rain, and then whatever objects you put in the Ziploc bags would have been safe, while everything else would have gotten ruined. The Ziploc bag full of rice would have been to save one of your electronic equipment, because obviously rice and electric equipment fucking draws out the water. You can get one of them working again.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
we were only there for one night.
The wallet with no ID was a red herring. The $800 in a survival situation, that's kindling.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have needed it because there's trees everywhere.
There's trees everywhere. There's stuff like that, but after rain,
That's
maybe
true.
maybe the money was
There was
still
a
dry.
T-shirt. There was a T-shirt in there.
That could have gotten wet. Maybe the money was still inside the wallet, and therefore
I had
it
another
was,
pair of underwear. I would just.
there was other options. I'm saying, and if you somehow made it out with the $800, cool. But if you had to,
I just didn't
$800.
want to get attacked
But
like
that's-
fucking like No Country for Old Men style. I'm sorry.
I understand that. I get it.
That ain't happening.
That's also the sketchbook and pencils. The pencil, you could use that in some applications, but mainly just the sketchbook could have been ripped apart and used as kindling as well.
That's true.
But
we know how to. I had an axe.
and then-
Thankfully,
and
I
then,
took
yeah.
the expensive pack.
You got the half full, half empty water bottle, which again could have been used to filter more water, and the empty deagle, again just a red herring, but at the same time could have been used as an intimidation factor if you came across some crazed rednecks in the woods. Survival situation.
That's
Don't know what you're gonna need.
That's what the pointy sticks were for.
That
'Cause
was
if
also
rednecks are gonna attack us in the woods, then we're gonna out redneck attack in the woods them.
that was also to entice Isaac to want to take the backpack.
Yeah, I know. Hey,
You failed.
good on you, Isaac, for like deciding not to take the backpack though. Hey, man, that's the thing too. Is like, I like in this situation, I was prepared, over prepared, some would say. But the thing is, a lot of it came in handy. And Isaac's shit, even though he was a little bit underprepared, everything that he had was useful, and it fucking like helped out in some way, right? So it's like, just
And
make
it-
sure like overpack for the hike you think you're gonna do, because like you never know.
That's the main priority of it, and the main thing I learned in Boy Scouts, our main fucking shit. Be prepared.
Yeah.
Just be fucking prepared.
There's
If
no
you're
such
gonna go
thing
hiking,
as
get
packing
shit.
for a hike, like unless like you're overweight, like overweighted. Like if you got too much shit on you that to the point where you can't walk reasonably or comfortably.
Don't be
like 50
backpack
pounds for a
boy
lot of
from
people,
Ned's
yeah.
Declassified.
Yeah, like some
You don't
people,
need to be
50 pounds. Like I regularly move around 50 pounds of weight, and I know I've carried a backpack with more weight than that in it for like a good period of time. As long as I can set it down and take breaks every now and then periodically, and there's nobody like there holding a gun to my back or holding like me and telling me
It's
to keep
easy.
moving,
There's no problem.
it'd be fine. So like, but like you know, like if 50 pounds is too much, you can still do a lot with less weight than that, and just like as long as you pack smart with survival gear and shit.
And of course, plan for the trip ahead. Obviously, you guys were just going for a hike in this situation, but if it was like, we're going camping for a day, and then you got stranded for fucking 2 weeks, how are you gonna go? Shit like that. So
yeah.
just get some information, stuff like that. Obviously, we're not survival experts, so we aren't gonna be like, oh, do this, do this. What you should do is go online and find some actual survival experts and listen to what they have to say, and tell them
Yeah,
the good
there's a
buds
lot of
send you, and tell them to sponsor us.
Sure, I would love to get. I would, dude. Can you imagine having like Good Buds branded survival gear, like fucking Good Buds Bowie knife? Oh my god.
Bowie knife that flips over and it holds 3 joints on the other side in a
Oh,
waterproof
bro, like
container.
it would be okay. Check it out. Check it out. Like a Swiss Army knife, right, or a multi-tool or something, but everything on it is just a different type of roach clip. Like none of them are like. There's like one knife, one pair of scissors, and like everything else.
No,
there's
they're
like
all roach
7 other. There's like 7 other things on there, and they're all roach clips.
All right, buds.
So.
So let us know down below what you think would be a great idea for surviving. How would you have survived any of these situations? What's your favorite survival game? Survivor person on TV?
Would
Survivor
you like
show?
to see
It
us
doesn't
do more
matter.
hypothetical survival situations like this? Because we can.
How
definitely-
are you fucking surviving?
Yeah.
Just how? Let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. How do you do it? Because I'd really like to know.
Appreciate as you were saying.
But anyway, yeah, no, if you'd like to see us do any more of these kind of survival situation things or any hypothetical scenarios, just let us know down below in the description, like Curtis said, or jump onto our Discord and let us know there, because we've got all kinds of cool, interesting, and, you know, unique things going on Discord, but we like to let you buds know what we might be doing and see how you feel about it. So just jump on there, you know, communicate with us a little bit. We'll have a good time, and it'll be pretty great, and we'll all be friends, and I'm smoking drugs, you know.
Okay. Then. So anyway, before the episode ends, I do have a little bit still packed in my bone.
You know, I have a little bit of a joint still right here.
Well, and
I'm
I
going to
think
sit here awkwardly.
fuck yeah, like he always does.
Oh, yeah.
And buds, hopefully you can join us one last time as we blaze it and tok tok shkaboke.
Tok, tok, tok. Damn, that's good.
Isaac, excellent setting.
Yep, it's a very good awkward setting.
Oh yeah. Buds, as always, thank you so much for listening. And all the respective stuff. We're gonna roll one for a road, and we hope to see you next week on the Good Buds podcast.
Yeah, appreciate you being here. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share this with all of your buds at home, and make sure that you go and check out that Patreon where you can donate and buy all of us new fucking cameras so you can see us in HD instead of this fucking bullshit you have to deal with where my camera keeps shutting off.
At least Tank needs one.
If you're watching on YouTube, which you should also subscribe to,
Be
links
there
down below.
and
If
look
you're
at my
not there
cat.
already. Yeah, look at Curtis's cat.
It's not here
And
now. He's at my
Look
feet.
at that. Look at that Nala.
And look at Nala.
And
She's
that's
right
cute
here.
looking Nala. And Quirkus.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway, thank you, bud, so much, and we'll see
Yeah,
you
thanks
next
for being
week.
here.
Later.
Later. Isaac, they're guests.
They'll survive.
I won't.